5 breeds of ducks that I don't recommend for beginner duck keepers. And don't get me wrong, all of these duck breeds can make wonderful pets and are some of the most popular breeds in the world, but for a few reasons, I just don't think they would make the best choice for a beginner. Number 1 is the Pekin duck. Although these are some of the most popular pet ducks in the world and they can be absolutely very friendly, I don't recommend them because they're way more likely to get health issues compared to standard sized ducks, especially the jumbo Pekins. One of the reasons for this is because Pekins are bred to grow extremely large extremely quickly, which can be really hard on their legs and internal organs. And number 2 is the Crested duck. Although that puff of feathers is often regarded as absolutely adorable, I personally don't think that breeding deformities is cute, and I don't think we should be supporting breeders that continue to breed deformities even though they are aware that it can cause a plethora of health issues and a lifetime of pain and suffering for the animal. Because that puff of feathers is actually a hole in their skull, which is obviously not good. If you want to get more into the specifics about crested ducks, I have a full long-form video on YouTube called Why Are Crested Ducks Unethical? And number 3 is Muscovy ducks. Although they are most well known for their fun and unique personalities, I don't recommend these ducks because they aren't exactly ducks like we know it. Every single breed of domestic duck is derived from wild mallard ducks and therefore will have the same care requirements, except for Muscovy ducks. So if you're a beginner and you're looking up how to raise pet ducks, you're going to be finding information on how to raise domestic ducks that are derived from mallard ducks, and not all of that information actually applies to Muscovy ducks, so they require an additional bit of research that you just might not find on surface level of Google. And it's also worth mentioning that Muscovy ducks are considerably larger than most normal sized ducks. They're much closer in size to geese, so you're going to need more space for them. And number 4 is actually any type of bantam duck such as call ducks, East Indies, or mini silver apyards. And I actually raise call ducks and East Indies myself. They're my personal favorite and I definitely recommend them as pets, but for beginners there is a little bit more work involved in bantam sized ducks because they do have the ability to fly. So you're either going to need to clip their wings and know how to do that, you're going to need to build a top cover on your pen, or if you choose to free range your ducks, you better keep them in a pen at least for a little while, because if you don't, you could just let them out and they may fly away and never come back, and you are essentially just feeding your local predator population because these ducks are domesticated and they can't survive in the wild. And number 5 is mallard ducks. And let me first be clear here that I am not speaking about wild mallard ducks. You need a federal permit in order to obtain those. I'm speaking about domesticated mallard ducks. So the thing about these domesticated mallard ducks is some of them may still have the instincts that tell them, hey, I need to fly south for the winter, and unless you have a top cover on your pen or you clip their wings, they might fly away and you'll never see them again. And not only is that an issue because those ducks might not have the ability to find their own food because you've been feeding them, but this is also a really big problem for the wild duck populations, and not just with domestic mallard ducks, but any type of pet duck being allowed to intermix with wild ducks in the wild has become a really big problem because the offspring may be able to fly, they might not be able to fly, they may be able to survive, but maybe not, and we don't even really know if there are purebred wild mallard ducks in existence anymore. And I just want to reiterate here that you can technically start with any of these breeds, they just will require a little bit more research or maintenance than your typical duck, and it's probably going to be a lot easier on you if you start with something like a khaki Campbell or a runner duck or a cayuga or really anything besides what I mentioned. Except of course the crested duck, because really nobody should be supporting the breeding of those animals even if you are very experienced.